Let's start now. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu sadhu namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhang saranang gacchami Dhammang saranang gacchami Sanghang saranang gacchami Tisarana gamanang paripunang Panatipata veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Adina dana veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Abrahmacharya veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Musavada veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Surameraya Majjapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Vikala Bhojana Veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami idang me silang magapala jnanasa pachayo hotu appamadena sampadeta. All right, let us do some guided meditation on the repulsiveness of the body. And sit here, relax. All the thoughts, all the vipassana objects, we let it go. Keep the mind present, peaceful, calm. Let the body relax. Any form of tension, tightness, tiredness, we let it all go. Relax from top of the head, down to the forehead, face, to the neck, to the shoulders, chest and stomach area, arms, back, spine, to the buttocks, to the hips, the thighs, to the knees and calves, the ankles, soles, toes. So relax the body. Keep the mind peaceful, mindful, present. Head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin. 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 Let us start with nails for today. Nails, teeth, and skin. Nails, 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 nails. Now let us imagine where the location of all the nails. It can be fingernails, it can be toenails. Imagine the shape of the fingernails. Imagine the shape of the fingernails and the natural color of the fingernails. Imagine the shape, location, end of the fingers, its color, slightly whitish, slightly pinkish, slightly yellowish. The shape. As we imagine the shape, the location of the nails, then we know it as nails, 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 nails. Now let us bring the repulsive nature of the nails by imagining that the nails are disconnected from the fingers. It could be because we cut the fingernails. I imagine all the nails are out on the table. Then we imagine these nails become something not beautiful anymore, something repulsive, something foul, and the mind is not attached to it. Imagine the nails are all disconnected from the fingers, and it's all lying on the table. No matter how we see it, these fingernails are no more beautiful. They are ugly, repulsive, foul, not attractive anymore to us. So we bring that non-attractiveness, repulsiveness, we hold on to that thoughts, that idea. Imagine the fingernails or the toenails after doing throughout the day, touching here and there. There may be germs and dirt lodged between the nails and the skin. That is not beautiful, that's repulsive, that is not clean, not something for us to be attached to. Nails, 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 nails. Nails, 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 nails. Then we go on to the next one. The teeth. Teeth, 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 teeth. Teeth, 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 teeth. Now again we imagine the teeth inside the mouth. The location is the upper jaw, lower jaws. Imagine its sizes. There are different types of teeth, the molar teeth, premolar, different shapes and sizes. Imagine the color. It could be slightly yellowish, slightly white, off-white. Now again, we imagine a tooth is disconnected from that area, from the jaws, and is placed onto the table. Sometimes you see the true nature of the teeth also together with its roots, two-rooted or three-rooted. Imagine it's on the table and it's no more beautiful when it's disconnected from the jaws. Nothing for us to be attached to. Imagine that it is disconnected, dislocated, removed. Or imagine we're in a dentist and once upon a time remove certain tooth or teeth. Then when we look at it, it's no more beautiful. It's no more pleasant. It shows its true nature of the teeth. So imagine we remove the tooth or all the teeth and put it on the table. No matter how you see it, it's not beautiful anymore. It is foul, it is unpleasant, repulsive. Teeth, 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 teeth. We go to the next one. Skin. Head, hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin. Skin, 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 skin. Skin, 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 skin. Now imagine the skin from top of the head all the way down to the toes. This whole body is wrapped up by the skin. Very thin in nature, takes about a cell or two or three or a few layers of cells. It's called the skin. We imagine the color. Could be dark, could be light, so imagine the skin, the location, the color throughout the whole body. We're so attached to the skin, the beauty of the skin. But now we imagine that this skin is like unwrapped from the body. All the layers is unwrapped by, as if like we remove some plastics covering from our food. Some plastic wrappings, removing it. Then all the skin of the body is being laid down on the table. Big, wide, a few meters square. Imagine all the skin has been removed from the body, and we contemplate. When the skin is removed from the body and lie down on a table, then the skin is no more beautiful. It's no more pleasant. It's no more attractive. It is repulsive, foul, disgusting, ugly, and not for us to attach to. Skin, 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 skin. Let us imagine the skin, we leave it in its natural condition, without cleaning, without scrubbing the skin, and we let it be. And all the sweat comes out, oil, they're attractive to all the bacteria, germs, and becomes smelly, showing its true nature. The skin is not something beautiful. Skin, 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 skin. Head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin. Head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin. Head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, skin. And slowly we let go of all the reflections. Bring the mind back again to the present moment. Right here, right now, right in the present. Feel the rise, fall of the abdomen. Then we can slowly open our eyes. Today we'll talk a little bit on the repulsiveness of the body afterwards. So yesterday we were talking about the prevention. That is to say that one has to be wise enough to choose the place where it is suitable for your meditation. That means you have to look for places which is conducive, not many people, not big, not too new, not too old. And then you must have proper teachers, things like that. Not too near city where people keep on coming and going. The place is famous. These type of places may not be so conducive for meditation. But of course, it would be better that in nowadays, you want to look for a meditation place, you go to the type that what you really want to do, the type of meditation. Because sometimes there are yogis, they come to certain meditation that all the yogis are doing one method, but they want to do different methods. Uh, Not to say we don't respect what they want, but actually you are not respecting what we want. So it'll be good that always you come to a place, you follow whatever they teach. But of course, you have done your homework first. I've seen those yogis. They thought that meditation place, all monastery can meditate. So they go and meditate. They do not what we do here: walk, sit, walk, sit. Other devotees, other monks are not happy with them because they are not contributing to the temple. You don't sweep the temple, you don't do this to the temple, you know how to sit and walk, sit and want to eat our food. But they don't see that as, they don't see that as really something purifying the mind. So people may not, this type of people may not be so, this type of places and the people may not be suitable for your development, for your practice. Yeah? You are fall into their category of you have to follow the way they do. Yeah? Here in this type of meditation, we only want you to walk, sit for most of the time. You can do your sweeping. Of course, you can go back and do it too. There's a lot for you to sweep. There's a lot for you to clean. A lot of things for you to do. So you must, in the modern times, it's better for us to go and look for the places but actually do the type of meditation that you want. Now, these some of the things, it helps you to prevent agitation from coming in, because too many people, too many things, and then even before you meditate, the mind is already agitated. So there's no basic calmness there. Not to talk about the type of tranquility we want it to be like, where the mind is totally quiet and truly mindful of what is going on. But basic, if you can't find some degree of external calmness, then it can be quite difficult to develop the meditation. Yeah. Most people not so able to, but some people, they still could able to do it, even the environment is a bit more noisy. But then they are far and few in between. Tonight we'll look into something that also causes agitation. Now this one will be connected to all our central desire, ill will or aversion, skeptical doubt. We don't have to touch on the sloth and torpor, because sloth and torpor also already I talk about it. But these few other things also causes agitation. Agitation that caused by sensual desire. Agitation caused by aversion. Agitation caused by skeptical doubt. Agitation caused by worry. Agitation caused by just agitation, restless mind. Uh, so we'll look into that a little bit here and there. Now let's look into sensual desire. Here, the sensual desire, here it's as the word sensual, senses, that means connected. Here we're going to talk about the five senses. We talk about the five senses, not the mental type of desire. Yeah? But we talk about these external senses. All right? Although we talk about sensual desire, their root, they're always the evil root is always the greed, right? So whenever you have greed, whether it's mind or whether the senses, they're all the same. All their job is just to grasp. Whether they are sensual objects or even meditative object. When you say like, when you're meditating, then all the quietness, calmness come in. Then you get attached to it, right? You get attached to it. You get attached to it. That one, we don't call it sensual desire, all right? It is craving, it is desire, but it's not sensual desire. But they still fall under the same root. Okay, they still fall under the same root. So we, in a way that we separate them out in that sense. You get attached to all the joy when you meditate. That is not really sensual desire per se. So this one is more of an external sensual desire. But once in a while, of course, this type of sensual desire, it may spring up from the mind also. You may meditate there, but you'll be thinking of all your food. You're missing you're missing this and missing that. Yeah, that. Well, anyway, we are looking into more of the external one first. All nature of desire, whether it's sensual or whether it's mental desire, all their job is just to attach, to grasp, and not to let go. Their job is to attach and not to let go. They hold on. That's their characteristic. They want it. That's why when you see, when a person meditates, when the moment the desire becomes stronger for the meditation, then every time they meditate, they want that desire, they want that calmness, they want that thing. So the mind, in other words, is seeking for it again and again. That means the mind is already wants it and don't want to let go of it. Keep on seeking and seeking, and then they hold on to it and able to get it, and they want it to last as long as possible. Just like every of all our things. So this sensual desire, they are difficult to see because it's connected with something pleasant or can be neutral. Usually this sensual desire in our everyday life, they are not in the forefront. They are more towards the behind. But what is in the forefront? Is the joy. Happy, ma? You're happy. You look at the food so nice, you're happy, but you forget that there is a pleasant feelings behind it. There is sensual desire behind it. So sensual desire is not so easy for us to see. It's always the excitement, the thrill, the joy. And this type of joy is not an enlightenment factor anymore. This is, in a way, it is unwholesome mental. It becomes unwholesome already, this type of joy, because it's connected with sensual desire. So in our daily life, as I said, this sensual desire is not for easy for us to see because they are pleasant or they are neutral. So try to look for it if you are, especially when you're not meditator, it's not easy. You can go and listen to the Dharma talk again and again about sensual desire, but when they come in front of you, you totally do not know that it's already there. That's how many times you all listen to sensual desire. Let go lah, let go. But when the food come in front, or anything beautiful come in front of Hosea, you totally forget about everything. You can talk about another 100 times. You still like that. Yeah. So the theory is one thing. When the action, it cannot come together. This is where the vipassana comes in. Vipassana comes in so that although you understand one thing, now is to have, when you build up that mindfulness, actually sees the nature of the sensual desire. The next time, all your theory and all your practice all come together. Then only you see those things clearly. Yeah? So this sensual desire arises in all of us. And when it's new, everything when it's new, you like it, you want it, is this one. Just like your car, when it's new, you clean it up, polish, make sure it's shining, nobody scratch it. But after 10 years, you don't even bother. scratch, Like a new phone, also the same thing. When you buy a new phone, you're so careful. After 2 or 3 years, drop. Something like that, no? The desire is strong. So we have all this type of desire. We cannot, here, you want to talk whatever kind of desire, that one we cannot finish. But what is more important is that here, as a yogi, we know how it arises, we know how to catch it, and we know how to abandon it. And that is more important. Because if you do not know how to catch it, then again, going to be, it's right in front of us, then we do not know what is it. Okay, so all types of desire, no matter whether it come from the eyes, object from eyes, hearing object, smelling object, tasting object, touching object, these 5 external senses. So here, these are where all the desire is connected to, all the sensual desire connected to. Therefore, our job is to note them, to pay attention to them when they arise. When they arise and become prominent. All right? Usually in the beginning of the practice, we don't encourage yogis to note this type of object because they are subtle object even for beginner yogis. This type of object will become more clearer whenever your mind becomes more sharper, alert. So don't go and, next time you go and see some friends or some people, you got to note your desire, not so easy. Yeah, theoretically is, yes, you can note, theoretically, yeah. But actually you see its process, what happens. It needs a deeper aspect of mindfulness. You see, the 5 hindrances is actually as a meditation object, falls under Dhammanupassana. It falls under Dhammanupassana. And those objects can be taken up as a meditation object. That means your sensual desire can use as a meditation object. Anger can be used as a meditation object. And all this, all the hindrances. So all the hindrances, the Buddha says, is that you watch them how they come. You watch them how when they are there. You watch them how they disappear, and also you know that what are the things that prevent them from arising. Yeah? So these are also important. Yeah? Now, the sensual desire. The Buddha says that whenever the sensual desire arises, it's because of ayoniso manasikara, wrong attention, careless attention. Careless attention on the perception of beautiful. Okay? Careless attention, ayoniso manasikara, careless attention on the object that is beautiful. Careless attention. So there's one careless attention here, and object that is beautiful, or you perceive it as beautiful, two things comes together, then it becomes, or your sensual desire pops up, right? So, so here a lot of our meditation will be involving around this area, where we begin to see things as not something beautiful. And what is not something beautiful? Then we begin head hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin. Because you see it as beautiful, therefore get attached to it. We'll talk about that, we'll talk about that later on. But the thing is that you see, callous attention on something that is beautiful, or the perception of what is beautiful. So here we have to change two things. One is beautiful, and also the callous attention. That is where both you need mindfulness to change these two in order for the sensual desire to disappear or to reduce. No? Callous attention. We are, we are born with it. This ayoniso manasikara, this is not, when you talk about yoniso manasikara, ayoniso manasikara, wise attention, callous attention, or sometimes they translate as wise consideration, callous consideration, or unwise consideration. Here, I will try not to use the word consideration. When you are out there, it's okay, because sometimes you are not, or most of the time, you are not meditating. So you consider it wisely. Should I do this? Should I do this action, or should I not do this action? Oh, this is unwholesome action, I should not do. So you consider wisely. That is called wise attention. And you consider wise consideration. But here, it's better for us to use the word attention. Wise attention, unwise attention, because this time it involves your noting mind. So your noting mind is actually paying attention to something. So therefore, whether it's wisely attended to or unwisely attended to. Yeah. So it's better for us to use that word. So all the understanding about wise consideration, yoniso manasikara, you have to put all these things aside, because most of the time we use it in an everyday world. But in the meditation world, the world where we want to develop the mind, then this yoniso manasikara involves how you pay attention to your object, not how you think about the object. It's how you pay attention to the object. So that is in a way, this one. You see, when you are paying attention, just put it simple. When you are paying attention to an object clearly, you notice your rising and falling, you notice pressure, hardness, softness, how it changes, the pain comes in, the pain goes, rising, passing away, changing this here and there. Here it's all wise attention already. And the whole attention is wise attention, because this time the wisdom factor is there. You are paying attention to see the true nature of what is happened. So this is wise attention already. Yeah? So you don't have to think about it too much. It's right in front of you already. But this one, although we say it is wise attention, actually for a lot of people, it's not easy to do. It's really not easy to do. Yeah. You need to build it up over time. Then this type of attention becomes clear about the true nature of objects. Okay. So this put it simple. These are wise attention. But wise attention also, we will look at from it from a different angle, because as you progress, it's not only how you look at one object, but it's also sometimes a multitude of objects, and a multitude of objects, how they interact with each other. That is also wise attention in that manner. And how sometimes certain objects change in a different way, sometimes totally a different way. Sometimes you perceive it as arising, passing away. Sometimes you notice that arising and passing away, and yet it is really unpleasant together with it. The dukkha that comes together. You know? So there's different ways of how this wise attention is being developed during in the vipassana meditation. But we don't have to use the word wise attention all the time. If it get very confusing, you just pay attention to your object. Okay, already. Lo. Simple as that. Just note. Okay. But all the what the Buddha talked about it, it's all there in your noting observation. It's just that sometimes we don't go and talk about it so long. But now, since the Buddha brought it up within that central desire, it says that the arising of this central desire because of the careless attention on the something which is beautiful, or you perceive that something is beautiful. So that means careless attention here, that means you're unmindful already. Okay? Other words, you're already unmindful. Or previously you have a no, don't worry. That one is the next one. At that moment of time, you are unmindful. In other words, the mindfulness is not there. Other words, that all whatever unwholesome thoughts already there. Mostly is non-mindful. Then the second part is this: object which is beautiful. What is object that is beautiful? Because what you perceive as beautiful and what other perceive as beautiful can be very different. Because others can perceive it as ugly and you may perceive it as beautiful. So, in other words, is the perception. Here falls under the perception. You take a dress, you take a phone, you look at it, you like it very much. And another person look at it, oh, they don't like it at all. Why? Because in the past, you already have certain perception that a certain color, certain shape, certain patterns, that you already have it there with you, that the moment that your eyes touch upon that object, which is a dress, which have that color, have that distinct, have a very unique pattern that agreeable to you, again because of your past, then immediately the mind desire it. Because again here, non-mindful, you look at something is beautiful, immediately the desire hold on to the object. Very fast. The moment your eyes touch upon it, perception comes up, pop, that's it. Desire is already there and it's already working. This is how our desire arises, as according to the Buddha. But you don't have to follow what the Buddha says. You have to see it for yourself. And you can see it for ourselves if you are mindful enough, Doesn't mean that you're mindful and this desire don't come in, You're mindful, you see a process of how this desire coming in. And it's interesting. Yeah? Although we say that when you're mindful, then no desire. But when you actually practice, this desire, although you're mindful, it just can cari lubang, and can just come in again. and yet you can still able to watch what is going on. And that is the beauty of vipassana, to see what is going on. Then later part, as the mindfulness gets much more stronger, then the time the mindfulness is there, the desire don't even come in. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah? The wrong attention, the careless attention of something is beautiful. So this something is beautiful is very subjective to each person. It's beautiful to you, it may not be beautiful to this one. But your perception also is impermanent. Because you may see it now beautiful, 10 years down the road, not beautiful anymore. Yeah. Like fashion. When you're at 20s, oh, you wear some kind of nice fashion. When you're 60 and want to die already, they ask you to wear that fashion you like. You don't want, not ugly, not suitable, you don't like it anymore. It change from a person. Even the fashion changes, even like this type of fashion change, that type of fashion change, then you just follow the trend, it changes. So the perception of beautiful changes in one person also, according to the time or and circumstances and so on. You know that the perception of beauty also, beauty of the body also changes according to time and according to places also. You know, those days are the Victorian times in the 1700s and so on. When when a man sees a lady, and the man, if the man get crazy of a lady, all you need to do is show them the ankles only. You just start it a bit to show the man ankle, the man go crazy already. Those days, just showing the ankle arouse a lot of all this sensual desire arise. But nowadays, it's totally different. Yeah. Some places, uh, when again here, man and woman, and again sometimes man in certain places. If you look at nowadays, you look at a supermodel and all that, you think that that's a kind of a perception of worldly perception, what is beautiful. But in certain places, they don't look at this type of people are beautiful. Those people who fat, round one, that one sui. They perceive that as beautiful. So they can be very different because that still happen in the world right now. They still happen in the world right now. When you go in a certain tribal area, then sometimes in the where is the tribal area, they have this type of lips. They pull the lips very big and then they put a disc there, and then so the bigger the disc, the more beautiful the woman is. So you pull and you pull, pull. So you can try that and see. So you see the perception. It's a very funny thing. We look at how the world, the perception of what is beautiful and so on. It changes. So all the while, as we grow older, as we grow into age, as we grow into different time, different era, our perception of what is beautiful changes. But we still see something else beautiful. If it's that not beautiful, another thing is beautiful. Doesn't mean that things change, everything not beautiful. No. It's just that we're going to look for something what is beautiful, something what is pleasant to you, something what is agreeable to you. We keep on seeking for it again and again, according to the time, the situation, and so on. Yeah. Mm. So these are something on the perception. It changes. Those perception changes. But when it happens right in front, we don't realize it. Then that is where our sensual desire becomes strong and powerful. It hold on to us, and this sensual desire is the one that we make the world spin. Not the gravity. It makes our world spin, not the gravity is for the physical world, but your world of your mind is where it spins around central desire. It spins around central desire. So, other words, you got to be watchful of that central desire. You got to be watchful of this central desire. So, say it's easy to be mindful, but it's not easy for us to overcome it. So what we need to do? It is also mentioned in the text also, commentaries, or I think in the sutta also it mentioned. This sensual desire also is because that when we look at something, uh, when we look at something or we hear something or when we touch something or when we smell something, it is because that your attention to you take up the details of the object. They call it you take up the details of the object. What do you mean by the details of an object? Here's, for example, when you look at the dress, okay, when you look at the dress, you look at the color, you look at the pattern, you look at its cutting, you look at its whatever that is connected to it. When everything comes together, beautiful. Because immediately we already catch hold of all the details. Our eyes already catch hold of all the details. So because you catch hold of all the details, immediately wrong attention is already there. Unmindfulness, non-mindfulness is there. Immediately the sensual desire springs up. So we are catching a lot on the details in our everyday life. Yeah? You listen to music. Again, here the music is pleasant to you, unpleasant to you. Again, here whether we realize or not, we are catching on the details on how the beat of the sound, the rhythm of the sound, the whatever the whether it's male voice or female voice, is the voice low, is the voice high, is the voice able to drag and the voice able to do what is going on. So we already unmindfully and we already noticing on all these type of details. We already catch hold on all these type of details. Yeah. So we already get caught into it. So the details is where our perception, look at it, it forms the whole thing as beautiful. All right? It forms the whole thing as beautiful. You look at a person, how the person is beautiful. You already look at the face, you look at the eyes, you already look at the eyebrow, you look at the hair, you look at the shape of the face, you look at the body, you look at everything already. Already the whole mind scanned through. The mind is already picking up all the small little details here and there. It already starts to form. And therefore it is beautiful. And therefore it is pleasant. So fast that our desire springs up. And we have been doing it since we are young. No, sorry. When we're doing it since time immemorial, since our samsara. We carry on that habit again and again until here. Uh, and we were going to do it again. Whenever anything that is beautiful, pleasant to you. Uh, uh, uh. So again here, this is how we catch hold of all these type of things. We catch hold of all these type of things. So, as a yogi, what should we do then? Now, as a yogi, you have been given the instruction that when you see something, what you're supposed to do? Seeing, but you still see. And then hearing, you still listen to the sound. You know, uh, here it's not too bad. Here is not so much music and so on. But some other places, when you go near the town, the neighbor blasts all the songs you love one, habis your meditation. The meditation rising, falling, then you start singing already. Mentally, you just go on and on and on and on, rising, falling. So, so the one thing is that we already catch hold of all these type of details since in our past. We already lodge into our memory. So the moment that it arises, the whole memory, the whole perception comes onto it, and it springs up. It springs up all the desire. And sometimes for some of you, meditating means like sometimes you have to stop the music playing in the head. The music keep on coming, your favorite singer, keep on rolling, 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 rolling. You try to stop it, cannot. You keep on rolling, and sometimes throughout the whole day. It shows that our attachment to all these type of things is very strong in all of us. Yeah? But nevertheless, it can be overcome. It doesn't mean that it cannot be overcome, but you need a lot of effort, and you need a lot of, you really have to face with it. As a yogi, what we need to do is that we learn to pay attention to these type of objects. Take for example, take for example, what is nice to you over here? Everything not so nice. Maybe food. Okay, food. You've already taken your food. Let's say you sit in front of you. You see that something that you like, right? You notice that something that you like. Here, what you try to do is that you notice this. Seeing, 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 seeing. But this time, make sure that you don't go and look into all the details about the food, what color, what shape. And then not only that, sometimes our mind is thinking of how this one's supposed to be done, who cooked this, what is, it's all connected. It's all the details, So your job is to notice something. Seeing, 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 seeing. When the pleasant feeling arises, when you notice the seeing, then the time you notice seeing and they're feeling pleasant, 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 pleasant. It will roll. First few times when you really pay attention to it, this type of desire, it will still roll. Doesn't mean that just because you note everything stop. No, it's because of the sensual desire still strong. So you let it roll first, but this time you keep noticing, seeing, 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 desire, desire, wanting, 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 liking, 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 nice, 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 nice. Just keep noting like that. You have to do actually for many times. Not only just that time, but other times when you are having your breakfast or your lunch, or whether you are doing any other things. One day, if you are being mindful like that, one of these days when you meditate, let's say, then you happen to see something, and then you notice seeing, 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 seeing. There will become the time your eyes don't really focus on the detail of the object. Somehow or another, your eyesight feels like a bit blurry. Because this is not normal to us. All of the time when our attention on the eyes, that means everything becomes clear to us, becomes sharp and focused to us. But when the attention is not on the eyes, but on the eye consciousness right now, then when you bring from the noting, from the seeing, now you begin to notice that something that is like seeing inside there. Then you begin to notice your external object may not be so interesting and so detailed anymore. So this is where how we begin to cut off on the detailed part of what we see. And then the mind is focusing on the consciousness of what is happening. And that time, sometimes if your mindfulness is strong enough, you see that it's only seeing only. There's no pleasant, there's only, don't even have that one thing also. It's just only seeing, 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 seeing. And it can be quite powerful. Yeah? It's just that most of the time, yogis don't really pay attention to what is going on over here. The next time also, like if the sound coming in, you notice sound, 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 or hearing, 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 hearing. And try not to pay attention to its detail and see. And just notice that hearing process is going through. Hearing, 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 hearing. And if you are skillful enough, next time you find that the songs or the sound that you like one, it doesn't have any much of impact to you. Yeah. Sometimes you meditate, especially the female side, the the trees are nearby. Sometimes you listen to some bird sound. Wow, tee, ta, ta, tee, tee. You like the sound. Wow, so beautiful in the morning. That is where you get caught into it now. So next time you try it to be mindful. Hearing, 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 hearing. Don't go and add in, don't go and call add in more like, what bird is that? What how they are singing, how come, what time they usually come out, and tomorrow maybe should I should wait. You add in a lot of things into it. The moment you add all into it, that means you're really feeding the details into it now. Yeah, you're feeding everything into it. So the whole mind will not able to this one. So next time, all the thinking about the object, you put it aside. You put it aside, especially connected with sound, sights, and so on. A lot of our mind is creating it all up, and therefore it strengthens the whole central desire there. So, in other words, when you see, just see lah. When you hear, just hear. not not thinking about what you hear. Yeah, that there's a instruction by the Buddha. When you are seeing, just see. When what is seen, just note it. Just seen. What you hear, just hear. It's so simple, which is actually is that direct. But as I said, our mind is so complicated now. We fit everything into it. This is where all the details all come in. Yeah? So when we put everything aside, all those details aside, just not hearing, 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 seeing, 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 touching, 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 or smelling, 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 smelling. The moment that like y'all sit over there, 10 o'clock, our cook is cooking, you already foresee what is in the table at 11:30 already. You know what is coming up already. Because you smell the things that you know already, So you already foresee what is going to come up on the, or you agak, That means you're feeding it, You're feeding the mind, you're feeding the central desire already. So that time, smelling, 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 smelling. If the desire come in, desire, 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 desire. If the thinking come in, thinking, 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 thinking. One thing, one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing. And note it. Then just stay there and do nothing. Hmm? You will come to a time also when if you pay attention to this one, clearly, you also begin to see that they are actually all connected. That the moment that you hear, pleasant feelings come up, thoughts comes up, and so on. Then next time when you pay attention to this thing, as if like you are out from it from a little bit, just like when you note your thinking mind, you kind of like pull out a little bit, then you begin to see this process. Seeing a process or smelling a process, smelling something, you notice the pleasant feeling come up. You notice the thoughts come up. You notice the various type of thoughts coming up. You notice the smell arises, the pleasant feeling, the thoughts. You begin to see connection. Understand? You begin to see connections. That this object leads to the next object. This object cause another object to arise. So what is that? Dependent origination. Right in front of us, if you pay attention, you see object after object that arises because they are interdependently, they are interacted, they are cause effect, cause effect, cause effect arises. So there are many things that is happening within this seeing. So next time when you notice this, as the mindfulness increases, then you begin to see this smelling pleasantness thoughts arises. Then if the mindfulness begin to increase, you begin to see pleasantness. You begin to the smell, pleasant feelings, but no thoughts, no desire. So the craving is cut, at least for a period of time. You see, it goes together with the theory, all this thing, it goes with the theory. The pleasant feelings, it will still be there. Yeah? If the smell, you cannot stop the smell, but only you can stop that sensual desire only. So all this happening is within us. So therefore, this time you pay attention to it. It's called uh, wise attention. It's called careful attention. So try that and see. It's not that easy, but you can notice them quite clearly if you try that. So that means you got to be very mentally very vigilant on your noting. Just don't let it go, let it be like that. So this is one thing. You pay attention to it. So when the central desire comes up, note it. Desire, 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 desire. Even whichever the desire, whether it comes up from the senses or sometimes in the mind only. Sometimes like 5 o'clock in the morning, have breakfast haven't come back, still hungry already. So after that, all the food is flying in front of you. Then you got to note desire, 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 one thing, 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 one thing. Huh? So you got to note this desire. You see, this desire, sometimes this when you note this desire, sometimes you got to be firm and got to be quite energetic, because some desire, it makes the mind soften. Then you're sitting straight now, then desire coming about the food, and you see the body also lembab a little bit. The mindfulness drop, it lembab a little bit. You're not sleepy, but you're lembab already. So that time maybe you need to put in a little bit more effort. But sometimes the desire comes in a lot of mental agitation, a lot of agitation, and then it makes even more thinking coming in. And then that time you got to watch it and you got to note it more softer. Desire, 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 in order to calm the mind down. Once the mind is calmed down, sometimes because of the mindfulness is there, then everything is okay. That means the desire has slowly starts to fade off. Sometimes it disappear, then well and good. So it's all trial and error. There's no one way of doing it right or no. So it all depends on the situation. So that's why your mind, you have to be more flexible in how you pay attention to your object. Yeah. So this is one way of how we notice the central desire. We go directly noticing it. Then this central desire also, sometimes it springs up. It springs up in the meditation. Sometimes even you're sitting down, it may not come in as sound, but it comes in as a mental object, a very clear mental object. Say, for example, the imagination of a man or a woman, and the desire arises. So this time, this is where your 32 parts of the body or the 9 channel ground meditation can be helpful. For some people, this sensual desire, or more specifically, the sexual desire, arises in them. So when it happens in them, so some people, they are not able to control that desire, becomes too problematic, too strong. So what they can do is this one. Instead of noticing the desire as the desire, now what they do is that they change the perceptive object to become repulsive. Okay? To change it to become repulsive. Just now, we are mindful. Just now, the first way is that you're mindful, you have careful attention, then desire disappear. But now, although you're still in a way a little bit mindful is there, but still the desire is so strong. So what do? We change the perception. Now, here you change the perception. Let's say the person the person that you desire or the thing that you desire arises. And here, especially 32 parts of the body is connected to the bodies, to that the body or the person. Yeah? So what we do is that we change the perception. Look at the person as to all the 32 parts. Yeah. You, when you see a car, the car is beautiful because everything is being put together. Then it's nice. If you put the tire here, another tire there, door here, bonnet there, engine here, this one there, BMW also not nice already. Whatever your car also not nice already because all separated. Everything comes together, being compacted, then on is we look at it as something nice also. So we learn to separate them. So the 32 parts of the body, the contemplation is that we begin to separate them. We begin to separate them. Usually when we separate them, we don't see them as beautiful anymore. It's only when you see the whole person as a person, then it's beautiful. So here, when a person comes up, let's say, you see a person, beautiful, this one, then you see a head hair beautiful, man. Then you remove the head hair from her face. Not so beautiful anymore. You remove the teeth from her face, from her mouth. You remove her eyes. You remove her arms. You remove all the skin, everything. You remove, then the two parts of the body, the kidney put here, stomach put there. Sweet man. Then not more beautiful anymore. Then the moment you don't see it as beautiful, the whole desire drops. But that one you got to be careful. You need mindfulness. If you don't have enough mindfulness, it overshoots into you're totally like disgusted with it. You're totally like become. In fact, that you totally like what do you call that? The anger is there. The emotional states become too much. You cannot take it. So that means you overdo the whole thing. So these 32 parts of the body and the 9 channel ground meditation, there's also a limit. And that is where, teachers also become very helpful because sometimes I heard people who did all these things did it wrongly. Again here, because of lack of mindfulness, they overdo it until the mind become very, they look at everybody now is bones only. Or something like that. The mind become very distorted. So when they come out from it, your job is to bring about that non-attachment. This non-attachment. Not all the perception becomes like whatever that you do, then it affects your function. That become too much already. So just there's a limit. So here, what we can do is that sometimes we just change the image. Change the image as just head hair, body hair, or just stomach or kidney here and there. Then all the desire gone. It's just you change that thing into a repulsive object. Or in the 9 channel ground meditation. Here again, when the objects become very clear to you, the object of desire become very clear to you, or the person of desire become very clear. So the 9 channel ground of contemplation is that you contemplate that this person is just like a corpse. After all, they're going to die anyway. No, as you vision that this is a corpse, and this corpse, they bloated, they becomes bloated, they becomes what else? Blue black, smelly, worms coming out. The Buddha also described that the bones begin to dislocated after some time. The bones dislocated. Then sometimes the skin is still there, or the sinew is still there, the blood is still there, or sometimes the Buddha also mentioned the blood became dry and all that. They give you all the stages of how corpses decay. Nowadays, we don't see that anymore. We put into the fire. Vroom. We don't see that anymore, when somebody died, But in the old days, as I said, they don't burn it, they put in the charnel ground, you see the decay of the corpses. So you use that perception, bring up that perception, put into your mind there uh, to change the person into a corpse. And then this corpse can, all the desire, all the worms are coming out. So where's the desire? There's the desire immediately gone. So when the desire immediately gone, so what do? We drop all this type of perception back again to the rising and falling, back again to the sensation. And and all this type of desire just gone immediately because you change the perception. Yeah? Usually we say that, hey, don't go in, whatever thoughts that come up, just not thinking. Yeah, that's one way, Normally we tell you to do that, but a little bit more advanced when you come to this one. This is how we tune this one into something repulsive. Then the moment that the mind becomes clear, let it go, come back to rising and falling, everything again. Don't dwell into it too much. Uh, so so even that the 32 parts of the body that, and then we do it for 15 minutes or so, 10 or 15 minutes or so. So once in a while, if this type of desire arises, you try that and see. Try that and change the perception that just as they are head hair, body hair, nail, teeth, skin. See whether it works or not, huh? Something to be learned, something that you can try. So we'll talk about this on this central desire here a little bit. So we're going to continue a little bit on the central desire on the Thursday. Yeah? Also, we talk about the ill will also. Yeah? Okay, so we stop here for the night. Idang me bawanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sape satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.